Plaintiff Danielle Richardson met the defendant through Facebook, and they became friends. Danielle claims one night when she and the defendant went to a club, police cars swarmed them, and the defendant was taken to jail. But to this day, Danielle has no idea why. Danielle is suing her former friend for stealing her coat. Defendant Daryl Cathcart says when he befriended Danielle, he had no idea that she was an alcoholic. Daryl claims one night he took the defendant to dinner with a famous music producer, and Danielle passed out at the table with a chicken bone in her mouth. He's countersuing for defamation of character.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor, in January of 2014, Daryl contacted me via Facebook stating that he had heard my music on the radio and wanted to do a collaboration. He wrote me many times without reply. I'm not exactly sure why I didn't reply, but I didn't. Fast forward to August of 2014, we ended up meeting in person through a mutual friend and actually instantly hit it off as friends. And I guess you could say maybe I had some bad judgment at that point in time because we're here right now. But in September of 2014, Daryl and I went to a club in Buffalo, and we went outside for a smoke break to the car. While we were in the car, police cars swarmed us. It was about 6 cars. And I said, what's going on? And he's looking around. We tried to get out, and they told us, get back in the car, get back in the car. And I'm asking him, you know, what's going on? And he told me right then and there that he was going to go to jail. He gave me his money, he gave me his phone and his keys, and told me, do not let my baby mom get my phone. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I didn't even.
Did you ever find out why the police came up? Did they see their license plates or something? Or
no,
you all were in there
he
smoking
never
weed?
told me why he was arrested.
He was smoking weed in the car?
No. It was whatever issue he had going on, they arrested him for that. I took off of work the next day because he told me that I may have to bail him out. And so when I took off, I ended up getting fired because I was still in my probationary period, but he had a really good job. And
what were you on probation for? Y'all both criminals.
No, a probationary period. A probationary period at my job. I was,
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
But he had a really good job. And as a friend, me knowing that he had a good job, I didn't want him to lose his job when, you know, I was working collections.
Good.
So, the next day, he came, he was very thankful, came and got the stuff. We continued hanging out. Fast forward up to December 26, 2014, I apologize. My mother bought me a coat for Christmas.
Before we get into the coat you're suing him for, let me allow him to give some background. Sir?
She's correct. I did contact her to do some music with her. I wanted to help her out. I wanted to have some songs I wanted to write for her. Not that I needed to, because I wanted to, because I thought that she still is a great artist. She's talented. I sing as well. I do what I do. But anyways, not knowing that she was alcoholic. She drank. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I drink. We all drink. But sometimes when certain people drink, they do certain things, certain different things. She act kind of crazy when she drink.
So good crazy or bad crazy?
Bad crazy. Just for instance, I wanted to introduce her to a popular producer. I took her to a 5-star restaurant to have a dinner meeting. Me and the producer went out to go talk outside the restaurant. And as we was talking, his friend came out telling me, well, I don't know what's wrong, but your girl in there, she slumped over the table with a chicken bone in her mouth.
And she was drunk, obviously.
She was drunk. I actually lost connections behind that, because I defended her that same night.
You care to discuss the police?
They actually came to my car because they thought I was somebody else, not knowing that I had a warrant for a bench warrant for
usual thing. You fit the description.
I fit the description. I was in a race.
Right, like they stopped my son Greg in his sister's car.
Right.
And she's a lawyer, so you know it's a decent car.
Right. Right.
Got him, threw him up against the car, pulled their weapons out.
Right.
Wow.
What have I done? I'm just here from Washington, D.C., where I work. I said, well, you fit the description.
That's all he said.
Go to the police station, no such thing. So, most of them are good, I'm sure, but the ones that stopped Greg Mathis Jr. in a white Porsche and said he fit the description, those are no good officers.
That's right.
So that happens so often, unfortunately. It's called profiling.
But he still did get arrested.
The car was full of smoke.
No, it wasn't full
Yes, it was. You say y'all smoked weed in there all night.
No, we... Your Honor, I don't smoke weed. Like I said, he had a state job, so he definitely
Tell me
was not
about this
smoking
coat. You got weed holes in the coat. Now you want to sue it.
A lot of weed holes in the
his
coat.
fault.
Me and the producer went out to go talk outside the restaurant, and as we were talking, his friend came out telling me, well, I don't know what's wrong, but your girl in there, she slumped over the table with a chicken bone in her mouth.
And she was drunk, obviously.
She was drunk.
Plaintiff Danielle Richardson is suing her former friend, who claims Danielle is such an alcoholic that one night when they went out to dinner, she passed out at the table with a chicken bone in her mouth.
Tell me about the coat.
My mother bought the coat for me on December 26th. She brought it to my home. At that point in time, Daryl was at my house along with another friend. They're complimenting it. Daryl is complimenting. He like, oh man, your mom sprayed a pretty penny on it. He noticed the hood was detachable. We unzipped it. He like, oh yeah, it's cool. It had fur on the inside, as you can see on that coat. It had fur on it. When I put the coat back inside the bag, I never put the hood back on. The next day, my roommate moved out. And he was also a mutual friend of ours. So he came to come help him get all his stuff out of my extra bedroom that I had in the house. And I stayed inside of my room so that we didn't have any altercation like when he was leaving. After they left and I heard the door close, I came out my room. I go and I start looking at trying to make sure it was no damage. I start going around my house. Where is my coat at? I called him, I called my roommate. I said, you know, the coat is gone. The hood was still there. So eventually what I did was I wrote him on Facebook, and I was lying, Your Honor. I was calling his bluff. And I wrote him and I told him, guess who had security cameras inside of their living room? And he goes on to tell me about, oh, I see you still on this old stuff. If you need some bread, that's what I could do. But listen, I wanted to talk to you about these producers at The Voice because they want to meet you. Come out to Cali, miss, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going off. You know, I don't want to hear none of that. I told him that I was going to take the footage to the police by 7 p.m. And he ended up telling me, no, don't do it. You know, I'm gonna come bring you $50 now, and I'll give you the remainder for the coat on the weekend. That weekend, he never came. He ended up saying, he stopped answering my phone calls. Then I had my cousin contact him, and he was like, oh, my phone was dead. I'm in Rochester. What's the address of where you guys are gonna be at? I'll bring it when I come back in. I never heard from him again. Honestly, I know it was wrong, but I skip traced them because I worked in collections. I skip traced them, and I ended up getting a hold of his baby mom's phone number. Well, I thought it was his baby mom, but it turned out to be her mother, his girlfriend's mother. So I called her, and I'm like, well, shoot, you know what? Even though, I mean, you're going to be mad, but I told his girlfriend's mother, you know, your daughter is dating a thief. I never heard from him for a year. I never ran into him for a whole year. He dipped and dodged me. He blocked me on Facebook and everything. And finally, I guess I said something to someone that we knew, and they got to him, and he wrote me finally in February of this year and said, we gotta squash this bull, told me he was on a walk with God, and he wanted to take care of what he did. And he had, you know, he just said that he was gonna take care of it.
Sir, what do you say to this?
All right, Your Honor. Some of that, what she's saying, is the truth. What really happened was I told her to drive my car home from the club. She told me that someone else drove my car home from the club. Okay? When I got my car back and everything, I noticed I had a couple of $1,000s that was missing out my car. Come to find out, a couple of months later, I realized I found that money. So I contacted her and said, you know what? I did have the jacket. But what I said, I said, I will give that, I don't have the jacket no more because I threw it out. I don't know where it's at. But I did tell her that I can't replace the sentimental value of it, but what I will do is repay you. I said, all you need to do is stop telling people this stuff. I told you, there was no reason why you would go on a TLO, which is actually a police database, and contact my baby mother. Now she's scared because you got all her personal, on TLO, you got access to her social security number, to everything about her and anybody else that's involved with her.
Okay.
That's a crime.
And that's
that you
fine.
cannot do that. I told you do not do that. Let me talk.
No, you didn't tell me not to do that
because you didn't know that. I said, you know what? I told you I was gonna give it back to you.
You blocked me.
After they contacted me, said, no, I'm not dealing with this girl.
Not when
and I got rid of.
Counterclaim for emotional distress.
Your Honor, if
because she was going around contacting people.
Or defamation and emotional distress.
If you would allow me to say one last thing.
No, I've allowed you to say enough. Let me allow him to say something.
Because she was going around and telling people things after I done told her that I confessed to the situation, but because I didn't give it to her in her timing, because I had stuff that was going on, after that, she kept going around telling people stuff.
No, that is not what's true. From 2014, you brought me the money on March 2nd of 2015, you brought me $50 and told me you would bring me the rest of the money. I'm chasing you for a year trying to get this, but the sentimental value.
March 2nd
of 2015.
All right. And when did you speak with his child's grandmother?
Probably maybe a month or two later. Honestly, I know it was wrong, but I skip traced them because I worked in collections. I skip traced them, and I ended up getting a hold of his baby mom's phone number. Well, I thought it was his baby mom, but it turned out to be her mother, his girlfriend's mother. So I called her, and I'm like, well, shoot, you know what? Your daughter is dating a thief.
Plaintiff Danielle Richardson is suing her former friend, who claims Danielle is such an alcoholic that one night when they went out to dinner, she passed out at the table with a chicken bone in her mouth.
You went and called someone totally disassociated with this, spreading his private business to someone who had nothing to do with it in order to put him in a bad light.
Your
You can't
Honor,
do that.
My mother's husband was passing away from cancer at that time.
What's your emotional distress for, ma'am?
That's what I'm saying.
For
at
what?
that time, my mother kept on asking me about this coat.
You said something about, no ma'am, you said something about someone passing from cancer.
At that point in time, my mother's husband, my stepfather was passing away from cancer. My mother completely disassociated herself with me because she thought that I sold the coat. I couldn't explain to her that I had a friend that stole from me because they...
Why couldn't you?
She didn't understand that. She thought I was lying to her.
People understand when things get stolen all the time, ma'am. That's enough. That's enough. You should never have done this to this man after he gave you $50, and then you go on illegally using the access that you get through your job to access information about not just him, about the mother of his child, about the grandmother of his child, and then you go and share with them. I'll give you a $225, all right? And I'll grant you $1,000 for the defamation. You had paid her, and you intended to continue paying her because you told her you had taken it. Have a good day. You got your money for your coat, but $1,000 for him invading his privacy, defaming him, breaking the law. Ma'am, have a good day.
You know what? You took from me. Then you, after a while, that's when you decided to give me what you were going to give me.
Really?
You gave me $50 and then disappeared for a year.
Like always.
You
always.
took it from me.
I
and
was
then
always
you came
there
here,
for you.
You were
And
there
after
for
this,
me.
I'm
You
not
took that
mad
coat
at you.
because you thought
I'm
that
still
I
not
stole
upset
from you.
Plaintiff Elizabeth Stevenson says she and the defendant had been best friends since the age of 5, and the defendant was to be the maid of honor in her wedding. But all of that has changed. Elizabeth claims after her father died, she came into some money and gave the defendant a loan. But now she's forced to sue. Defendant Kirsten Galliano admits that she and Elizabeth were best friends, and she says it was hard for her to see Elizabeth lose her father. Kirsten agrees that Elizabeth gave her money, but she never asked for a loan.
Start with you.
Me and Kirsten have been best friends since we were 5 years old. We've known each other pretty much our whole life. She's supposed to be the maid of honor at my wedding this year, and obviously that's not happening now. She's known that.
Why not?
Because our friendship fell apart over this when I was just trying to help her out.
She was close enough to be your maid of honor, and
Yes.
you all ended that. What if you get your money today? What if she pays you?
It's too late. I lost respect for her. She said she was going to pay me. She didn't stick to our agreement.
That's ridiculous.
What type of respect?
It's the fact that if someone helps you out, you should stick to your word. You say you're going to pay me, and then that day comes, and then there's another excuse, and she didn't want to pay me. I just don't respect
Wasn't about
her.
excuses. You knew my financial situation. You knew it.
live at home, Kirsten. All you have is a car payment and a
count the
credit
woman's
card.
money.
What'd you say?
You can't count the woman's money. She tell you she broke, she broke.
Yeah, but she can go to
Exactly.
Starbucks and get coffee every day before
Coffee?
work
What are
and
you
buy
talking
her
about,
boyfriend
coffee?
a pair of
It's a
shoes.
long way from $800.
She called me saying that she bought her boyfriend a pair of new Jordans because he paid her $200 phone bill. Why wouldn't you
All right.
save that money to
I
pay
had
me back or
just
pay your
saved
own
money.
phone bill?
Now
I
you're
just
on to
given you
something.
You only
$200.
paid me once.
You asked for $1,000.
All right, man, wait your turn. You can buy that man Jordans. Go ahead.
Thank you.
What else you want me? I'm with you now. Buying some man Air Jordans. He must be a teenager. Did you get him a jersey too?
No.
Go ahead.
Well, the past 7 years have been really hard. My dad got really sick and just passed away a little over 6 months ago
sorry to
in my
hear that.
home. And that's why I had the money at the time, because I came into money that he had left for me. And
Sorry to hear that. Let me allow her to give me the background on her end before we get into the specifics. Go ahead.
Well, before we do start with that, I do want to give her a birthday card her dad gave her. I did have it because, is it okay if I walk over? I had it in my car. We went to go get the tattoo of the last thing he wrote for her before he went blind. But it was hard for me to go through that with her. It was hard to see her lose her father. I've been there every step of the way. It's not like he just died and I wasn't there. From the moment he died, it was hours before she told me, which is
Why
understandable.
don't you let her tell me about her father? She may not even want to talk about it anymore, and I'm sure she hurts more than you do.
And I understand
so,
that.
ma'am, let me
Sorry.
allow her to talk about it if she wants to.
me and Kirsten have been best friends since we were 5 years old. We've known each other pretty much our whole life. She's supposed to be the maid of honor at my wedding this year, and obviously that's not happening now. She's known that
not?
because our friendship fell apart over this.
Plaintiff Elizabeth Stevenson was best friends with the defendant, and she claims the defendant was supposed to be the maid of honor in her wedding. But she recently kicked her out of the wedding as a result of this lawsuit.
Go ahead, ma'am. What else you want to tell me? You were the beneficiary of some monies when your
Yes.
dad passed, and what occurred from there?
She had money that she needed to pay back for her taxes last year. She owed $1,000, and it was November when I received the check for my dad's life insurance that he left me, And, she knew that I had it. I had talked to her about it. She was, my best friend. Of course, I'm going to talk to her about it. Well, we were together, and we went and had lunch because she asked me to help her.
Pay her taxes.
Yes.
I didn't ask.
Let her finish, ma'am.
And,
Were your taxes paid?
yeah.
Okay. You got any extra?
No, not anymore.
Every now and then, I'm late. I think that's very common. You file and you think you're going to get some money back, and instead they say, oh, you owe us $1,000. You say, oh, well, you're going to have to wait a minute. I thought I was getting some money back. So you're going to have to wait 2 to 4 weeks or even a month or two when I get it. But go ahead.
And so we had lunch. It was like a week later after we had talked about it. And
What was the agreement on repayment?
that I wrote her the check for $1,000, then every month she'd pay me like $100 to $200. And
Anywhere in between?
yes, between that every month. We didn't have an exact day, just every month to do it. And
This began November of?
I wrote the check for her November 17th.
Okay.
And it was cashed on the 19th. And I have a copy of it if you'd like to see it. Thank you.
All right.
And
What did happen in terms of repayment?
in December, she didn't pay me, but I told her that was okay because she called me saying, Christmas around the corner. I was like, okay, it's like, then just pay me in January. So January came around. It was like the last week of January. It was January 21st, which I have that where you can see that she did pay me.
See it, please.
And she paid me $200, and I had to ask for it. And that was one of the things that I said, like, I don't ever want to have to ask for it. Like, that made me feel uncomfortable to have to go and ask for my money. And like, if she needed more time, to let me know. And another one of my fears was, it's November, you haven't set up a payment plan to pay the IRS back, like, what if you don't pay me back? Like, that was my fear. If, like, our friendship ended like it has, here I am now, she hasn't paid me. She only paid me that one time, and our friendship ended because of this, which is exactly what I didn't want. Like,
Now, how
I was
do you
just
know
trying
she
to help her
bought
out.
$200 gym shoes for her boyfriend?
She called me and told me.
When?
In February.
She said in February, she told you she bought her boyfriend.
She called me, her phone got shut off. The bill was $200, and she was saying how great Angel was for paying that for her. So in return,
That's the boyfriend.
Yes, that's the boyfriend. And so in return, she bought him Jordans as a thank you. And I didn't like, that really stung. Like, okay, I gave you $1,000, but like I've only got one payment, but then you can take money and then go buy him shoes. Like, why wouldn't you just save that money to pay your phone bill or something?
I didn't have the money when the phone bill was due.
But you had the money for the Jordans.
That was after he'd already given me the money to pay my phone bill.
So you should've used it for something
didn't
else.
Come into money.
No,
I just
she
got a
should have used it
refund.
to pay you.
Exactly.
Now, you had enough money to buy him Jordans. Why couldn't you pay your best friend some of the money you owed her? How long you been with this man? Probably been with him for 30 days.
We are no longer. We were together for over 2 years. We are no longer together anymore.
And he got the shoes.
Right, correct. He has the shoes and she got the shaft.
It wasn't that I wasn't grateful for her giving me the money, and I was.
You tell me whatever you want me to know about the loan.
The loan, it wasn't my idea. We were standing at a store when she was going to get her own phone plan when she offered to give me the money.
How did she know about it?
Because about my taxes.
How did she know you needed it?
Because I told her that it was already past October 15th, past the second deadline, and I still couldn't pay it. I had just had to get a new car.
And did you mention it again after October?
No, it was just me trying to work as hard as I could.
So you never mentioned it again?
No.
No, she did.
No.
All the time.
I know that. You know I know
It's not like
that.
I was.
You were upset that your family wouldn't help you pay it?
Ma'am, I do not believe that you mentioned it one time in October. And she was thinking about it so much that toward the end of November, she said, aha! I know you got a debt. So let me put $1,000 on you to pay your debt. I believe her. You mention it all the time, and that's called
Dry begging.
dry begging.
It was.
You talk about your problems and your money issues without asking, but that's exactly what you're really doing. I know you got that check.
Hey, you're not yourself today, girl.
Right. Yeah, I just got a lot on my mind.
What's up?
I don't want to.
No, tell me. We're friends.
I know we're friends, and we go too far back. I don't want to put my burdens on you.
We've been friends since we're 5.
Yeah, but that's friends don't take advantage of friends. You got money, and that's your money. That's your money. I'll find a way.
Girl, you need some money.
No, I don't need your money. I need some money, but no, I'm not gonna take it.
Here, take it.
All right. That's nearly how.
Plaintiff Elizabeth Stevenson was best friends with the defendant, and she claims the defendant was supposed to be the maid of honor in her wedding. But she recently kicked her out of the wedding as a result of this lawsuit.
Tell me the payment arrangement, ma'am. Let's get to that.
There was never a set payment arrangement. I told her that I would try to pay her at least $100 to $200 a month.
That's a set payment arrangement.
But it was never written. I actually have.
Never what?
It was never written like.
was
You
a
don't have
verbal
to have it
agreement.
written. That's called an oral contract.
I understand that. I do have a written statement from a coworker that was there with me and Elizabeth.
Saying what?
Saying that she fully understood my financial situation.
She understands today, but she wants her money.
She told him.
But she also
that
understands you bought a boyfriend $200 gym shoes while you owed her. She understands that too.
But this is about how she said that I should.
No, this is about her wanting her money.
No, and I understand that. This is.
I'm glad you do.
The statement that she wrote.
You don't understand a whole lot.
It wasn't. It was.
Other than I owe her $800 right now. Do you understand that part?
Sure, yes.
All right, $800 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Continued success to you.
Thank
and
you.
sad to hear about your dad.
Thank you.
Stay strong and
Thank
just
you.
kind of focus on the things that would make him happy.
Yes,
'Cause
I
who
will.
knows? He may be looking down on you.
Thank
All right,
you.
have a good day. Judgment for the
If I can
plaintiff.
her dad to die, though.
Thank you.
I don't have anything to say to her. She begged for her father to die so she can have that money. So I have nothing to say to her. For her to treat me like this is ridiculous. No, I don't have anything to say.
Am I allowed to swear? Because you for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi.
Go yourself, you piece of
Plaintiff Sheila Singletary says when she met the defendant, they were both clean from alcohol and drugs, and they ended up getting married. Sheila admits that they both relapsed during their marriage, but she insists she is now 5 years sober. Sheila's suing her ex for the value of a car. Defendant Tom Whitaker admits that he and Sheila relapsed during their marriage because they were hanging out with the wrong crowd. But he insists he has been clean off of crack for 5 years and now only uses alcohol. Tom's countersuing because he claims Sheila stabbed him in the chest.
All right, and ma'am, you're suing your ex-husband for $2,265 for the value of a car,
Yes.
and you're countersuing for $2,000 for pain and suffering due to an assault.
Yes.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor. I met Tom Whitaker in 2002, and both of us were clean off of drugs, crack, and alcohol. I also used to do like 26 Vicodins a day.
Man, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious.
26?
Yeah.
And crack?
Yeah. 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 And drinking. And drinking
Okay.
too. Yeah. But during that time, I had like 5 years clean, you know, and he had like 1 year clean, and everything was going good. I have 8 kids. He did a lot with my kids. He had, you know, had them going to church and had them with their own little gospel group. But 2008, we ended up using again. And
How did that happen?
being around wrong people's places and things.
So you were clean for 5 years?
Yeah,
He was clean for 1?
yes. And we started fighting, drinking again, just partying, just crazy.
When did you get clean again?
2010, I went back into rehab.
Okay. You
Yeah.
went into rehab in 10. Have you relapsed since then?
I have not. I had 5 years and 9 months clean.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
Let me hear from you, sir.
Back when we first met, like she said, you know, I was very active in the church. I was going to church and I had the kids singing in the group. When we did relapse, Your Honor, it was like because of the excessive drinking and hang with the wrong crowd, going places and stuff. And I'm clean. I've been clean now, well, maybe like 5 years.
So when did you go into rehab?
I didn't go to rehab, Your Honor.
So you
I
still
just-
getting high?
No, I go to church now, Your Honor. I got Jesus in my life, so that changed my life.
Okay. When did you stop getting high?
When I moved to North Carolina, and I think I've been in Carolina 5 years.
Plaintiff Sheila Singletary is suing her ex-husband, who claims Sheila stabbed him in the chest.
Now, you see how she knows the exact number of years, the exact number of months? That's how people in recovery, that's how clear they are
Yes.
about being in recovery. And you say you think
Well, I
it's
deal with
been
double
about
alcohol
5
still.
years.
I
you
still
deal with
drink
alcohol?
yes. but-
All right. And you don't use any drugs?
No, I don't.
Okay. And you've never stopped using alcohol?
No.
All right, so you, unlike any person I've ever met, are able to stop using the crack, but not the other triggers. You're able to do that.
Yes.
All
I was
right.
depressed.
You need to put that in a bottle
Okay.
and
Thank you.
sell it.
Okay.
Here's how you use crack, and when you stop, you can still get drunk. If you've been a drug addict, you cannot use drugs or alcohol at all, because at some point you'll relapse. You'll say, I think I want me a little crack like I used to. This little drunk high, boy, what if I was high off the crack? So let me just go get me some crack just this one time. And then boom, it's beam me up, Scotty. From then on, till you get some real rehabilitation, sir. All right, but if you want me to believe that...
Well, I've been tempted, but I didn't go. I've been tempted, very tempted. Lots of times. When I get depressed, I have been tempted, but I didn't go.
You just drink alcohol.
I stop myself and I get down and I pray.
Drunk.
Drunk. I pray drunk.
Pray
yes.
while you're drunk.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, let's get to the value of the car you're suing him about. What happened and when?
Okay. When he had came back from North Carolina, we reconnect far as, friendship, that's it. And I have a cousin that's in the hospital, so I had time to drive. And in the garage, we trying to find a parking space, and all of a sudden I feel something scratching the side of the car on the passenger side where I'm at. And I look, the car was dragging on the big, thick pole. So I'm like, you're gonna pay me for this car. So he agreed to, but of course, I never did an estimate then, because a couple of days later, we were on our way back to the hospital. We were pulling out of my driveway, and I have like 3 cars in my driveway. And only thing I know, I'm hearing something again. On the other side, he's too close to my daughter's car, and he don't scrape the other side of the car. Okay, that was just like a couple of days later. So I did that's when I did an estimate, and because he said he would pay me the first time, but then after that he told me, he said, well, just take me to court. So I said, okay, well, we will be going to court.
You have those estimates?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
What happened, sir?
Well, I was doing her a favor, taking her to the hospital to visit her cousin. And in Portland Hospital, there was a pillow, and I just turned too sharp, and I hit the side of the car. And I did say to her, I will pay for the damages. And then the other incident, it was ice outside, and I was back in the car, and the car slid over due to the weather condition. It hit the other car that was parked. But I did tell her, I said I would pay when I get back to working for her car, because I did feel responsible. But I don't feel responsible for the whole thing, because I was doing her a favor.
You told her you'd pay her.
Yes.
You don't feel responsible for doing
the whole...
No, you told her you would pay her.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell her I would pay you less than it costs.
Right. I told her I was going to fix the car, Your Honor. Yeah. That's what I said.
And the second time, you're saying that's...
I was just backing out, and I caught ice because it was snowing out, and the car slid and it just damaged like the mirror on the other car.
But that's not a defense. The law is you must accommodate the weather in your driving, and therefore when you can't use that as a defense. So therefore you're liable for that as well. Your counterclaim, sir, for pain and suffering due to an assault. What does she owe you for?
We were at her sister's house, and she was just constantly behind me, nagging, just aggravating me about little things she was aggravating me about. And so when I turned, I thought to dump some liquor on her face.
You threw liquor in her face?
Yes, I did, because she was on me aggravating me. Then I noticed that I was leaking, and she had done stabbed me in my chest. And when she stabbed me in my chest, I was like,
well, you won't throw no more. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
And then what? Because I say that now because you're fine. Obviously, you're healed.
Plaintiff Sheila Singletary is suing her ex-husband, who claims Sheila stabbed him in the chest.
That's what you're suing her for responding to the alcohol that you threw in her face. And ma'am, the self-defense would only be allowed if you responded because you felt threatened by his action. And I guess somebody throwing something in your face, you might suspect that next the fist is coming.
Absolutely.
Or next that empty glass is coming upside your head. In which case you are able to defend yourself if you thought for one moment, I don't know, he might hit me with that glass too. The glass is a weapon. Hey, quiet. You throwing something in that woman's face. Where y'all from?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester. You glad you're not from Buffalo?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I did that also because on a simple fact, he had putting his hands on me. When I had braids into my hair, 2 different times when we were basically fist fighting, he pulled my braids from out my hair where bald spots was all in my head, okay? And another incident, he was choking me, and and I'm so sorry. I should. I didn't know he was going to say that, so that's why I didn't bring it. Where my whole neck, he had a razor to my neck, which scars was on my neck.
Yeah, what?
She was very, very violent.
Both of
she
you
would
all
attack
were
me.
You probably both were violent
yes.
while you were drug addicts and alcoholics.
Yes.
But you're the one suing her today. She probably can sue you 1,000 times too when you all were getting high fighting.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, is that your defense? You have a self-defense here, and is your self-defense that you feared that he might use that glass as a weapon?
Yes, sir.
That's your self-defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll accept that as your self-defense, and I'll dismiss your claim because she believed you might have used that glass as a weapon after throwing the drink in her face, and she had then the right to use a weapon to defend herself.
Correct.
And with regard to your claim, ma'am, on the car, as you stated, you did agree to pay for the first accident. Even though you were doing her a favor, the law is that if a person is doing you a favor, they're only liable if they commit extraordinary negligence. And hitting a pole that is right in front of you is extraordinary negligence. And so you are liable for that first accident and as well for that second accident because you are supposed to accommodate the weather that you observe. And if it perhaps, did it look sunny and dry that day?
Yes.
You should leave that alone. It looked sunny and dry?
No, sir. It was snowing out.
All right, you saw the snow.
How did the world she get that?
I believe y'all already know what y'all saying. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Judgment for
Honor.
you. Yours.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, baby.
Well, I would like to continue for him and I to remain friends because he is a good guy, and I don't know if he feels the same way.
Yeah, I would like to remain friends.